Hey, this is Zachary at the Trade House, and this video is going to focus on understanding the interface of an exchange order book. Let's start by taking a look at one of the more popular ones, GDAX. This is owned and operated by Coinbase. Now, this particular exchange, you can see the data without creating an account. They offer several different markets to consider, but this example we're going to use involves Bitcoin. Now, by default, you're going to be set at a 1 cent aggregation period. This is where you're going to be able to identify the algorithms popping in orders very rapidly into the market, but also, this information is very limited in what we can see. So we want to increase our depth of the market. We're going to expand the aggregation type to $10, and now this is going to separate the levels of supply and demand into $10 intervals. When we're considering where people have placed buy limits, everything that we can see over here in the order book itself is also displayed within the depth of the market. The supply, we're able to identify key levels that have accumulated hundreds of Bitcoin on them, and we can also see levels that have almost no Bitcoin at all. Understanding, that everything that you see on here is subject to change. There's no guarantee that by the time we get closer to 11,000 that there will still be 311 Bitcoin sitting on that particular price point, and this is only one exchange. When we look at Bitcoin, there are many different markets that we could trade on. GDAX accounts for 2.49% of the total volume that happens within the Bitcoin market. Right now, when we look at this asset, we'll do a quick refresh just to make sure we have the most recent data. We can see in the last 24 hours, price is up 9.28%, trading at around $10,823 on average. That's what we're listed at here. And then we can see the total market cap, that 24-hour volume. The maximum supply is forever fixed at 21 million. And the total number of Bitcoin in circulation right now, 16,870,075, that's more than 80% of the total supply. And every single day, we're going to get closer and closer to mining all of those Bitcoins and bringing this technology that's almost a decade old as of the time of this video, into existence. So with the order book, this is just one exchange. There are other sources of data that you could consider where it's displayed in a little bit different of a way. This exchange that we're looking at right now is the Bitfinex exchange, and you can see that they account for 6.23% of all the volume that happens in the last 24 hours. Hundreds of millions of dollars being traded within these exchanges. And when we look at this, it's very easy to understand what's going on. Over here, we have a chart. Very simple. You have different time frames. We have a volume indicator that shows us what's happened in the last hour, and it also shows us what's happened over the period of a 24-hour span. Within the chart, the volume bars, it shows us the total number of Bitcoin that were traded within that specified period of time. When we see the last trades, it's almost identical to what we notice over here with the trade history. However, some key differences lie within how the information is actually displayed to us within the bids and the ask side. The bids represent the buys. Everything that we see over here is the equivalent of the bids over here. This is the price that people are willing to purchase Bitcoin. And the asks are where the sell limits exist. You can see at 10,780 over on this exchange, there's 102 Bitcoin. When we check over here, we can see that price has already surpassed that $10,780 mark, and it has accumulated 15 Bitcoin worth of buys. This is acting as a leading indicator to show us that there is a high potential for price to actually go and push beyond this level. Let's continue looking lower. We can see $10,790 here has also accumulated 100 Bitcoin, but we're above that price over here. $10,800, 98 Bitcoin on it between current price and here, where the GDAX exchange is trading at right now. On Bitfinex, there is a total accumulation, which you can see very easily in this right-hand column, of 346 Bitcoin. Now, we've approached this level. Look at what's happening. Orders coming in very rapidly. This level getting chunked down. It was at 100. We're already down to 80. The buyers are stacking their orders here at the highest and most relevant level. There's a 10 Bitcoin buy in there. Many fractional orders coming through. More and more buyers placing limit orders on the books. We're going to have algorithms that will also be contributing to this movement, both protecting the $10,780 level, replenishing the Bitcoin as more and more gets bought, but also algorithms accumulating to the buyer side. Look at the time. We're about to have a new 5-minute candlestick open. And of course, there's a lot happening right now. If we consider right now, 25 Bitcoin buy just came through that level, getting closer and closer to actually breaking through. And so right now, we're at an area on the 5-minute chart to actually continue seeing that movement up. We can scan a different time frame if we'd really like to. We could go and we could drop this down to the minute bars. We can see that we're just about to break through that right now. More and more buyers continuing to protect that $10,779 price. And just like that, we went from 100 Bitcoin down to 4. Now, just because it says there's 4 Bitcoin here, we're going to see orders come through and then we pop above that level. Now we've reached the next area of resistance. 97 Bitcoin remaining at $10,790. We can see the price over on GDAX is at $10,830. It's about $50 above current price over on this exchange that we're looking at right now. But it doesn't change the fact that we have a lot of bullish momentum happening right now on the daily time frame. When we look at the hourly candlestick as well, it's set up for the potential to break this whole level, and this is the Bitfinex chart. What we see over here on TradingView is identical to what we're looking at right here, because this chart is powered by TradingView. These levels are what are physically on the order book within the Bitfinex exchange. This information is accessible to us as traders, which makes it very powerful to take into consideration, because at times you may be trading and you may think that price froze, and price just sits at a particular level for several minutes, and you're wondering what happened. You're going to find that occurs when we do get to these areas that have a lot of resistance, a large amount of supply. These sell orders don't just stop at $10,790. We look lower as we get closer to breaking that level. We see an accumulation of over 100 Bitcoin at 10,800. That is mirrored at $10,810. We look lower, 10,830, also having over 100 Bitcoin, 10,840, having over 100 Bitcoin, looking even lower. Another level, another level, another level, multiple levels stacked that have hundreds of Bitcoin on it. And these are very powerful areas to take into consideration because of the large accumulation that we see over here in the right-hand column. We've just revealed the $10,900 price, another level with a lot of Bitcoin on it. And this right now is a buyer's market. We are pushing up, looking to accumulate positions, looking to buy into the market. That is the general consensus that we're seeing right now as the trend develops. And we've reached that $10,800 price. We're noticing a similar trend where we're breaking through these levels that have hundreds of Bitcoin sitting on them. And it could be expected that there are traders out there with millions of dollars right now ready to hop in, take a position. We have seen orders come through on this book that have made 30 Bitcoin, 50 Bitcoin, a 20 Bitcoin buy right there. I've seen 494 Bitcoin be bought at one time. And I've also seen the same thing on the sell side. I've seen people that have hundreds of Bitcoin come through and push a market execution sell of 500 Bitcoin through. Is that going to influence the price in a significant way? It could, but remember, at the end of the day, there are many variables that we have to consider with our trading, and these order books are very easy to understand, and we can apply this information into our technical analysis. Just to recap, with GDAX, we have the buys, we have the sells, price, it is leading the Bitfinex exchange by $50 right now. It doesn't mean that it will always be like that. In the last 24 hours, we've increased 10% on this exchange. On this exchange, we're closer to 8.5% based off of the last update within the statistics. Doing the comparison, the data is fairly similar. We have a price chart over here that offers us 6 different time frames: 6 hourly, trending bullish; daily, trending bullish; hourly, trending bullish. Dropping into the smaller time frames, I don't really consider these too much on the GDAX exchange. And when we come into the depth of the market, once we scale it out, it shows us the total accumulation of buyers and sellers that are playing within this market. And right now, on the books, physically listed between current price and $18,850, just $1,000 below the all-time high, there's a total accumulation of 6,519 Bitcoin, 6,500 just to keep it simple, between current price and there. That's an 8,000 pip change. $8,000 is 8,000 pips for those of you that trade in the foreign exchange when we're talking about the Bitcoin market. So now when we look at the buyers who are looking to hop into Bitcoin, that want to pick up positions, we can scan the depth of the market and we can see that there are times where price just kind of gaps up. It jumps. Look at right here. $5,070 shows us that there's a total accumulation of 12,300 Bitcoin approximately between current price and there. Once we go below that $5,000 price, we gap up. We go from 12,900 down to 12,300. So we can speculate that on that $5,000 level, there's about 600 Bitcoin that we can't see over here, but we know is there just because it's already listed on the books. And if we ever get down towards that $5,000 price level again, you've already prepared yourself with the expectation there's going to be a lot of reaction down there because there's a lot of people already who are showing their interest to make a purchase of Bitcoin down at that particular price. There's no guarantee that it will remain like that. Orders can change. People can change their minds. They can decide to move their orders closer to current market price. They can decide to take a market execution and just buy it right now in real time. But regardless, those decisions are something that are independent from your trading. You as a trader have to believe that you can do this on a consistent basis. If you have any questions related to the order book, make it known. Ask within the community and get your questions answered, because although this may be simple for me, I do understand that it may take you going and watching this video again, understanding as you take notes, and then coming onto this website, looking at it for yourself, spending some time on it while you're trading, having it up so that you can watch the buys and sells come into the markets, and then see as the candlesticks are printing in real time just exactly what happens. Understanding how these candlesticks are forming is something that you're going to be able to know and really just gain a deep understanding on as you go and progress through this training. So I'm so happy and grateful now that you are here. The technicals that we're going to be covering, although the topics themselves may seem advanced, it's all interconnected, and we're going to look at this step by step, piece by piece, and allow ourselves to consume the information in a way where it makes sense.